So, konnichiwa. This is the first one, and I know I said in the last video, for those who watched the full thing, thank you for watching that one again. I know it was a long one, but sometimes they have to be, don't they? Yes, so today we're going to be working on, if we can actually get it in shot today, in the Kato SL Hitoyoshi. This is the 8620 class, and train that ceased running last year before. I love the fact they give you a layout idea in the bits you need and everything. That's really cool. Having said I'll do a steam, I'll do a diesel, I'll do one of these, it actually turns out this is one of the best examples, because the steam diesel coaches all in one video. So it's different style coaches. These are set coaches, obviously, so they are slightly different to the other ones. So yeah, I thought we'd crack on, just put the details on this, and I'll try a video for you. So, trying my best not to knock the camera, because you will fall flat on your front, and it's going to cause more editing for me. Right, so first off, I thought I would show how the cars in this set come out of the box. I've already done one as a trial run, but we'll... So the centre vehicle comes with these style, wow, that's right over, comes with these style knuckles on them. Now these aren't the ones I think you can buy them separately to fit if you want to. But with these, you bring them together and they actually clip, as opposed to the ones we're going to be fitting. And to get them apart, you have to pull them. I'm not a huge fan of them, I will admit, because I always think over time they're going to wear. Then obviously there's the standard Arnold coupling at the end here. There's our replacement knuckle, and this is the same type that you'll get if you go to do a locomotive as well, so you'll see later on. So what do we need what we can do? Well, I can advise, if you haven't already got an item of running stock that's got a knuckle fitted, is that you convert a locomotive. And we'll use the F15 here. So if you follow the instruction sheet carefully, you'll get this pointing this way. And if you are watching this video to learn how, then that is the correct orientation you want. Okay, so just tilt that towards you so you can see. So that's the orientation you want the knuckle to be in. And if you keep that to hand, then when you're fitting the item rolling what you're doing, you can make sure you're orientating things in the right way. Okay? Pop that out of the way. Okay. Right, so here we are with our SL Hitoyoshi end car. And the two observation cars. So, because I read the instructions, and on this one you can see there's a little tab here, or indent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce a screwdriver in there, and just gently lever against the front axle like that, and it will just pop out. It sounds worse than it is. You can see things like the contacts there for the interior lighting, which I also want to fit to this at some point, so we'll probably see this set again. Okay, so here we are, have the coupling. You can see this is a spring at the back. You need to be very careful that stays exactly where it is and you don't bend it. So that's the bottom, and there's the top, so that's the bit that clips into the train. So what I want to do now is I want to use the screwdriver to ease these two tabs out. It's easier said than done. Because plastic, that's the only thing, plastic is quite slippery. but yeah, sort of ease it down and out. I'll just have to do it off camera if you don't mind. Well, it's not like you can eject it really, so yeah, there we go. So there's that. Now, just coming around to the back, you can actually hold the coupling here, just to make sure that brass or copper, I think it's actually copper, isn't it? That spring is staying down in position. Sort of just trying to lever that out. Okay. Now I did find with the other one I could just sort of lift that a bit, then push the tab in, and it gave up. But this one, of course, is not going to do the same thing because that'd be too easy. Obviously, be very careful when doing this sort of thing because you can quite easily stab yourself with a screwdriver. So we don't want that. Right. I think I'll take it off camera while I look at this. So I found actually pushing it. Oh god. I'm saying being careful about that spring. I've just been trying to put it out. And it has fallen out. One quick find. So we've ended up with this. So really what we can do now is just simply lift that out. Okay, put that to one side, we don't need it anymore. So if the spring does come out like this, it is a case of having to try and put it back in. And this is where you really do your best not to bend it. Okay. Take your time. Don't force it, whatever you do not force it. Because it is very thin and very easy to bend out of position, which of course then means that your coupling won't centre properly. Just gently tapping it into place there. Okay, so there we are. So that's now fitted again. Right. And now we come to fit the coupling itself. So we introduce our EF15 again, in this case. Right. Now if I try to put it this way, you can see that's not going to work. So turn it over. Now this is two separate parts, so you have to be very careful with that as well. But now you see that connects. So now we know that just slots onto there. Now you sometimes just have to wiggle it over the spring. Oh, come on. I put the spring in wrong. No. again, the issue here is that spring is very bendable. So apologies not doing this on camera. That's the unfortunate thing, is not everything is doable in front of the lens. Sometimes you need to be able to see a bit closer. It's starting to go. Come on. No. It was. Give me a second, I'll be back. So I had messed up. That's how it goes in with the two plastic poles in front of the brush strip. So basically then this should just now pop in over the top. Okay, like that. So just to show on the back, you see the full brush strip. So the two posts go in front of that. Now they're making sure you have this in the correct orientation. Now there are two replacement pieces for this that have the air hoses on them, just because I'm not sure about my corners. They're slightly on the tighter end of things. Not the, I don't think they're about the most comfortable tightness you can use, but just to be sure I won't be using those bits. Shame though, because they look really nice and they would add to the realism, but that then basically clips over the whole assembly. Again like that, it's all locked in place. And then we can take away our logo from it for a minute, pick up the car, and obviously you could use a cradle for this. Oh. You position the coupling pocket back on the car, and it should just click into place. Something like that. Make sure it's firmly in both sides. There you are, you see it's working there. So now, final test. And there we are. Something you'd never see in real life. But there you go. So that's how we fit it to the passenger cars of SL Hitoyoshi. So that's now those passenger cars ready. So now we need to do the 8620 class and one of the two diesels. I will do both of them. But I don't think you need to see both, do you? And then we'll finish up with a running shot on the running. Yes, the shots are all running on the layout. So, all right. See you in a moment with it. Something else worth bringing to attention is how to remove Kato steam engines from their foam trays. So we have 58 or 58654, which would have been 8654 originally. So you can see here at the front there's a piece of foam that's going in behind the smoke deflector there. So the way to do it is you lift the whole, you pull, there's a tab here, lift that, pull the whole thing out the tray, and then you see that bit folds down and you can open it there, which means you can then slide the, you can lift that up and basically slide the engine out like that. There we are. Very careful. Lots of details on these. I'll try and support both, unlike what I did just there. And there's some detail pack for that one. Okay, let's put this to one side. And then we have the 8620 of SL Hitoyoshi. Now you'll note there is a non-functioning in-scale coupling on the front, knuckle coupling on the front. This is completely non-functional though, unfortunately. But we're not going to worry about fitting any front couplings it may come with. I don't think it does. Oh no, it might do actually though, because it's not going to need to pull the train in reverse, and you have to lose things like the uncoupling lever here and that. So I don't want to be able to do that. We will be fitting the headboard to it. I'm actually amazed I haven't done that yet. Very lax of me, very lax of me. But yes, we're going to fit the coupling first. So we still need our EF15 friend here. However, if you were doing this yourself for the first time, and this is the set you'd got, I'd recommend starting with this bit and doing this one, following the instructions as carefully as you can to the letter to make sure you get the correct orientation. Of course, copy the one I showed on the EF15. Okay, so on these, they're actually quite useful. You can simply pull and uncouple the tender. Okay, so now we're just dealing with the unit we want to deal with, which is here. Okay, so looking at the instruction sheet, we just need to push in there like that, and that unit comes off the back. Now it will bring the ladders and that with it, so just be very, very careful. Okay, so you see now we've got this component here. So you can see there's a more standard style spring in there. Okay, so what we do is just gently lift that out, but I tend to put my thumb now just above where the spring is. Just keep it in place, because again, it's the devil's own job to get them back in. So there we are. So that's obviously in a different style. In theory, these ones in the coaches we could have just pulled out, they clip in and out. But the one for the locomotive has that pin that corresponds with the end of the spring to centre it. And we shall find in the pack of goodies that they supply that the corresponding knuckle in here is much the same. It's a marvellous model, this one. The 8620 was such a surprise when it was first announced with the standard or the late versions for the freight working, which I've got 3 of. Because there was a famous trouble-headed freight on the Hanawa line, which they also did the freight car set for. And then this one came later on, and yeah, absolutely stunning. Different styles of motor effect on this one and everything. And unfortunately, the frames are cracked on this, so they retired it. It's now going to be running under air, I think, though. I saw something about it. Actually, you can still go and see it move up and down a small piece of track, which is quite nice. And it was, until that point, Japan's oldest mainline steam engine. Yeah, these are very old engines, the 8620 class. An 8654 obviously is going to be within the first 60 built. So yeah, quite good. You're looking at Taisho era, late Meiji Taisho era. I can't remember if the 8620 makes it into my book of Meiji era trains or railways in Japan or not. But yeah, these are pre-First World War design. So yeah, and still working in the 70s at the end of their lives. So because I've got the bit in this orientation, I actually want to match the 8620's, sorry, the EF15's orientation. Just making sure everything's all correct. And we're going to use our tweezers. And this is going to be an interesting operation, because what we need to do is sort of pop that onto there and just gently pull the spring back if you can with you. So I need to actually pick this up sideways. The other side would have been better. That's it. Some of these it can be easier than others. This isn't helped by the. This one isn't helped by the fact the. Bit of details there. That's the bar above it. It's actually going to be easy to use my fat fingers. Some things are sometimes, you know, because you can adapt your force a little bit more. So try and get them purchase on that spring. Could I get it from underneath? I wonder. Yes. There we are. So, sorry, you couldn't see that, could you? I actually found I could get a fingernail from underneath, and you can see that cone has now gone into the back of the coupling there, which now means that our coupling, when moved, returns to its normal place. So then all that's needed is to carefully bring the tender back in, carefully line it up, and clip it back into place. It should just be a simple, there we are. Make sure the ladder and everything all clips back in as well. So, just to make sure we've done things right, should have checked this before putting it back on the tender really, but we'll introduce the EF15. And there we go. So now our EF15 can tow this tender away. There we are. So that is the tender. That's complete. So now we actually have a detailed fit to the engine. And I'm going to show this as well, because, you know, when I'm doing things like I've done various locos recently off camera, and then you've just seen them running next, and I go, oh, I won't bore you with all this. I just want to show you an example of each different type as I come across, just so there is a data, you know, how-to guide, I suppose, for each one, so that you know, again, things I wanted when I was starting out, I've had to find out, sometimes to the detriment of my model, on my own. Hopefully I can help other people with in the future. Right, so yeah, just showing, this is the style that goes on the front. Now it seems to suggest you can do it without, no, you have to take off this bar, but that's the one for the front. It just clips on the front of the front bogie, the pony truck there. Okay, so if you do want to fit that, then that's the thing. We will have a steam engine in the future. I want to fit that, so I'll show you when we come to that one. So we want to fit the headboard for SL Hitoyoshi, which is this fine example here. Okay, that's going to be really quite simple, because I can already see, and you can probably see it as well, there's a slot just here that that's going to go into. Okay, it's quite a simple one, this one. And the great thing is actually is I can, once I've done this one, I can input the loco and the coaches on the track. So that'll be quite fun for me anyway. And then obviously it's part ready for the video at the end. And this engine and train, by the way, if you want to see it in person, if you're heading to the NEC for the Scale Model World Live, I think it is, isn't it, there, where they do the kits and the trains all in one place. I'm helping out on a layout there, Inshenka, I think it's called. It's Inshenka or Inshenko, which was there in November, Japanese Engage layout, and I threatened to bring Steam next time. And they said yes, the only thing that stopped them is the fact you need to run around, but the fact this has a diesel at the other end means I think we should be alright. But yes, so you'll get to see this one in person there, and obviously come and say hello. As well as running on my layout as well, obviously, at various shows, but yeah, so I was going to use a knife to cut this one out. What I do is I slide up to it, because you can find the groove. Obviously, if you're using a craft knife, be very, very careful. We actually managed quite a clean cut there. Quite good actually. I'm just going to do a little bit of clean up on the side. There we are. Best I can, because I don't drop it or lose it too much. So again, this is a tweezers job. Using my tweezers. Helps if you can actually see what I'm doing, doesn't it? That goes on there. I'll use fat finger just to push it home. Making sure it is standing vertical. So now it has the headboard, which is super. Okay, so now it's just a case of lining. You can see the metal post in there. Okay, so lining that all up there underneath there, and push like that. And there we are. Our 8620 is now ready to haul its excursion train again, which I would say unfortunately the real one no longer can do. And Jake, if you're wondering, if you're watching, this is the one that was painted Great Western livery at one point, essentially Great Western livery, just without GVR on the tender. But yeah, right, I'll get this on the track, and then we'll do the diesel, and then that'll go on the track afterwards, and we'll see it running. Okay, so here we are with a D10. This is D10 1207. These are Boko locos in their special Kishu livery. Now, this one should be quite quick because it's literally just a change of, as far as I'm aware, it's just a change of the couplings. Don't think I've seen it. I know we've got another headboard, but I don't think it is for these. And check their own instruction sheet. Now, on these ones, you do have to fit the whistles and the number plates. So you got whistle there, whistle that side, obviously the number plates, which I've already done previously. Yeah, I can't see anything on there that says that what that headboard's for. So it's one that comes with the actual passenger car set. Oh no, it is for that. It is for this. So basically, we've got to choose which one we want to go with it. Okay. Right. Okay. Oh, we'll fit it. We'll fit it. So, I think before we fit that though, which I will show, is I'll do both diesels couplings and I'll see which one runs best with the steam engine, just in case there is a difference in the motors, too much difference in the motors. Okay, so couplings though. Couplings on this are actually quite simple. So you see you've got the plough here. Literally, I just tend to do that. Now you can see familiar thing, these blasted springs. So again, another way of doing it, thumb or fingernail on top, simply pull that up as gently as possible, and then we find our bits. Come on, that's just one-handed, come on. You think something would have come out by then, don't you? I can see one. Hang on, let's dive in and grab. There we are. And again, I'm coppering the orientation of the EF15 there to my left. Okay. So as long as that matches that, which it does, we're golden. Okay. So again, when I'm doing this, I'll just put my finger on the coupler itself, on the thumb on the coupler itself, and then simply slot it back on, and there we are. So again, you can see the difference it makes in appearance and how far it sticks out. Now, alternatively on these couplings, because you may notice it's the clip style, you can just pull them out. Okay, which then means then when you unclip that, you're not then worrying about the spring initially in that initial removal. Not all can do that. Check your instruction sheet. It will show the style of coupling once removed, and you will still need to take this this piece off, because the replacement coupling, the knuckle, never has a clip in my experience. I've seen the other one now. It's got tangled, that's why it's not coming out. Come here, you. There we go. Now again, using the 15 for reference. Okay, so I've swapped that onto there. There we are. And then the whole of this assembly goes back underneath these, and make sure it lined up, so it should just clip in. So it's in the right place. That one isn't it? There it is. And there we are. So that's 1207. I'm now going to go and give that a run behind SL Hitoyoshi, see if it plays nicely, and then I will come back and I will fit the same to its sibling 1209, and then see if how that one runs with it. These two run quite well together, so they are pretty close to each other, and you can top and tail the same train with these two, or pull it, you know, both one end. There's different formations available to you. It just, the instruction sheets for the Kato trains and Tomics ones as well do it, but I like the way it's laid out. The Kato ones do sort of show you different formations. Actually, no, I was wrong there. So you can have the steam engine and 3 coaches, steam engine 3 coaches and DE10, DE10 and 3 coaches, or DE10 at both ends. So there are variations on this that you can run, and I believe that's how the coaches are still running. I think the coaches themselves are still running. I could be wrong there, but with the 2 DE10s. Right, back in a moment. It was a very unsatisfactory first test. And also I was going to just do this one, didn't I? But yes, I'm a little bit concerned that neither one of these is going to be able to do the job. The steam engine was just spinning its wheels for most of the time. Then actually so I took it off. It never got anywhere with it. Now whether you have to turn the power up quite substantially quickly or something, I don't know, but may have to experiment. But if that's the case, it's not going to be suitable for taking with me, sadly. But so we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. So yeah, just quickly go through the motions here again for you. So no, so I wasn't going to do it, but it just reaffirms the process, doesn't it? See, that's now the wrong way up. And obviously, as long as the 2 diesels work okay together, then at least we can do I can do the DE10 double train. I do like the DE10s as a design. I think they're really nice. I want one of these. I think I mentioned it on the EF15 and the freight set video. I want one of these with the standard old JNR scheme on them. So there we are. Right, that's that one. So that's how quick it can be done. I'm not explaining everything as you go. Yeah, so I'll go and test this one now and see how I get on with that. Yeah, so neither of them really work that well with the loco. The steam engine's motor is far more sensitive and starts moving much earlier. I believe it's a cordless motor. I don't know if these ones have got a cordless motor in them. It's certainly not as sensitive as some of the more recent diesels that I've got. I noticed they're starting to become, where they will start, like the F15 will start moving really before the light comes on, whereas the lights come on first, and then the motor starts, we need to go to about half power, by which time the steam engine is trying to pull away. So it may not be SL Hitoyoshi that comes with me. No, it all depends on whether I can fit the diesel I've got. This is actually a DD51 and totally inappropriate for this train. It depends if I can fit that with a knuckle coupling or not. But or I would find something else to do it. Yes, it'd be nice if we could get some dummies. These I have just had an idea, because it'll be here by then. I'll run one of the apt system ED42s back at the other end of this. If I could fit it with a knuckle, I'll run one of those with it. That'd be fun, because it's electric coupling rods. And whilst not prototypical, yeah, if these aren't going to play ball, then it's not worth stressing out the steam engine. I had to check a few times to make sure that the traction tyre hadn't come off on the steam engine, because sometimes you put it under too much spots, the traction tyre pops off. So yeah. So anyway, so I won't be fitting the headboard to either of these two. Just this moment in time, I'd rather keep it for if I can find one of these for sale, and maybe it's already broken or something, or make it a dummy, basically make a dummy one to go on the other end of the train. But these two pulling SL Hitoyoshi on their own will be fine. But again, the headboard will be on the dummy this time. So yeah, so that's going to be it for the bench side of this video. So what we're going to do is, not to waste the effort on these, is I'm going to put them both together on the track, and they can pull the freight train that's still on there. So we'll still see these run But yes, so enjoy the running clips. I shall say arigato gozaimashita. Take care all. I hope this has been useful, and sayonara. Bye everyone.